Tarot was once reserved for the strange, the occult, the bizarre, and dark magic. Until recently, Tarot was thrust into the light by social media platforms such as YouTube. Welcome to my series on learning Tarot. Today, we are going to learn about how to read a Tarot card. My name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my 9 books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, believe it or not, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings. Twin Flame, Romance, Life Path and Purpose, general readings. You can book them at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. So let's take a look at how you read a tarot card. Like, how do you actually read the cards? Well, let me just tell you this first and foremost. There is a technique in reading the cards, but the more practice you have, and the more practice that you have listening to your intuition, the card itself is going to change meaning and direction depending on your intuitive capabilities. Now, I'm going to give you a few bits of advice that my mentors and my teachers back in 2016, early 2016, I had 2 wonderful Hay House mentors and teachers who taught me various tricks and tips to doing readings. Now, the first thing that they taught me is that you have 5 senses, right? And you are going to be receiving messages through your senses, through the sense of taste, touch, smell, whatever, hearing. And you're like telling me like, right, okay, you smell something, you taste it. What? You do receive messages through your senses. And so, like, for example, if you're doing a reading and an airplane goes by, well, that airplane is part of your reading. You're doing a reading and you smell like the neighbor next door baking chocolate chip cookies. That smell of chocolate chip cookies becomes part of your reading. So everything that is coming to you through sensory input is actually a part of your reading. If a person like calls you or there's a name that comes up, that is actually part of the reading. And I know it sounds a little bit weird, but that's actually what it is. So I'm just going to draw a card. This is the Angel Tarot deck. And I'm going to pull a card and I'm just going to explain to you how I read. Now, what I did for the first year that I was learning back in 2014 to 2015, is I would pick cards for myself from a tarot deck, other oracle decks as well, but from a tarot deck. And I would actually look up the meaning of the card every single day for an entire year. I did this for a year in order to really learn the meanings of the cards. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that it's perfectly okay to learn the meanings of the cards. It's kind of important in a way, especially if you're using tarot to understand the significance of tarot. But secondary to that, there are many other tips and tricks to actually doing a reading that are really going to help you until you can learn to listen better to your own intuitive source, which you do have. You have a sense of intuition. It just gets better and better and better the more you do this and the more you tune in and listen, among other things. So we have got the Page of Water. So the Page of Water in traditional tarot cards is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. So the first thing that I'm drawn to is that there are no numbers on this card. The page is a court card, and therefore it is not numbered. So there are no numbers on the card. So that's the first thing that I'm drawn to. And the second thing is, what are pages about? Pages are messengers, right? Pages are all about being a messenger of some sort. When it's drawn to me that pages are messengers, it talks about communication. Okay, let's go to the Cups suit, the water suit in this case. The Cups suit is all about emotions and your emotional life, right? So what encompasses our emotional life? It could be love, romance, other relationships, an emotional connection with somebody. So it's about emotion. So it's communication messages about emotions, right? So that's how you begin to decipher a card for a reading. Okay. So there are also in some cards, not in a traditional Rider-Waite deck necessarily, but in a lot of the more modern day decks, there are messages at the bottom, which I rarely read unless if some word or phrase jumps out at me. So you are perfectly in your right to read the card. That is totally fine. But I would say try not to read the card unless something actually jumps at you. So here it says, a new person enters your life. I'm just going to read it for the sake of demonstration here. A relationship begins a new phase, heightened psychic abilities. So that kind of gives you an overall view of what the Page of Water, the Page of Cups could signify. Okay, so, but let's suppose someone came to me for a reading and asked about their love life, just said straight up, tell me about my romantic life. Tell me about my love life. And this is the first card that came out. Page of Water, Page of Cups. Well, this page is a messenger, but the Page of Water, if you study the Page of Water, is also about like a maiden or someone who is like younger in love. Now, it doesn't have to be a young person. It could just be a young romance, a budding romance, the beginning of a romance, or it could be someone who is younger, who is also more innocent in love, who doesn't have a whole lot of experience in love. So what I would say to this person is, it really does look like either you're in the beginning of a relationship or a new relationship is about to happen for you. Okay. So when we look at that in love, that would be the interpretation of the Page of Water. And if that person were to say to me, okay, what else about my love life? What else about my romantic life? Tell me more. I want to know more because one card is barely a reading, Michelle. So let's just see what else comes out in love and romance for this person if they want to know about their love life. So we've got the 9 of Earth. And so intuitively, now here's me trying to explain to you, I do read intuitively now more than ever. And so intuitively, the 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles in traditional tarot, 9 of Earth, is telling me that this person has been alone for a long time. They haven't been sad being alone for a long time, but they've been pretty content actually being alone for a while. They haven't been in a relationship recently. It's probably been years since they've been in a committed, serious relationship. And they're kind of ready now to get into a relationship because the 9 of Earth, so 9s are about almost completion of a cycle, right? Because the 10 would be a completion of a cycle. 9s are like almost complete, almost getting there. And I feel for this person, let's say if we're to take this person who might be starting a new relationship or about to get into a new relationship, and we're looking at the 9, like look at the picture. It's a female all alone. All alone, which is funny because the Page of Water is also a female. It's also a female. So I would say there would be a strong vibe that the person that I'm reading for would be a feminine energy, right? Either a woman or a man who is more in tune with their female energy. So this is really like this person is alone right now. This person is not in a relationship right now, it looks like. Looks like they're taking care of themselves and they're taking good care of themselves. And how do I know the 9 of Pentacles is taking good care of herself? It's because she's wearing a crown. She's actually wearing a crown, which is also funny because I don't think the Page of Water is wearing a crown, but she does. She's adorning herself with like, she's got a hairbrush, you know, she's got like things to make herself pretty. But also this shows that this person is a person of a certain stature, like of wealth. Like they've been taking care of themselves financially. They've been pretty successful financially, but they've been alone. So if this is a love reading, that would just tell me like this person has been alone for a while, like 9 out of 10, right? 9 out of 10. We're talking about those numbers looking to completion. And that's really where, when you're doing a reading, where those numbers can come into play, where the numbers, if knowing the significance of the numbers, can work to your advantage when getting a reading. Now, let's suppose that this person goes, okay, new love coming into my life. I have been alone. That's true. Tell me, what else about my love life? What else about my romantic life? Because 2 cards, Michelle, is barely a reading. 2 cards is barely a reading. So let's get one more card and let's see. We've got the 10 of Water, which is success in romance. Success in romance. So 10 of Water, 10 of Cups, 10. Remember how I said 10 is about completion? 9 is almost complete. 10 is completion. And what is this completion in? Cups, emotions, emotional life, love life. And 10 of Cups, 10 of Water, you see. So look at single lady, couple, with a couple of kids in the background, So if I were to read based on the 10 of Cups, this single person, I would say chances are you are going to get married and have children. Now, if they're not biologically having children, they could adopt children or adopt their stepchildren, but they will definitely get married and have children. So, this is a very complete set, if you will, for a romance reading in just 3 cards. You can do an absolutely fantastic reading for your client, for yourself, for your friends and family if you are practicing with just 3 cards. Look at that. Like, I just gave an entire reading to this hypothetical person in 3 cards. And it tells me a lot. It really tells me a lot about them. It tells me a lot about their mindset. It tells me a lot about where they've been. Because the Page of Water, remember how I said it really indicates someone who doesn't have a lot of experience in love? Like, you don't have to be a teenager. You don't have to be 20. You could be 50 and just not have a lot of experience in love. And that's what this 9 of Earth is telling me. 9 of Pentacles is telling me, single lady, financially successful, taking care of herself, upper middle class, maybe rich, but just doesn't have a lot of couples experience, like not a lot of experience in love, but it's going to come in for her. So that is a little bit of how you can read cards. Now I'm going to give you guys a bonus because I'm going to pick another deck and I just want to show you, they're all tarot. They're all tarot. And I really, really like the Fairy Tarot deck. Now, what if a client comes to you and says, I just want a general reading. Like, I just want a general reading. What do my angels and guides want me to know? What do my spirit guides want me to know? So I'm going to pick a first card for this person and just say, okay, this is what your spirit guides want you to know. And here we go. And I'm going to show you how you can really easily do this. We've got the Queen of Spring, and we are literally going to do a 1-card reading, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. So Queen of Spring, and I'm not even going to look, I'm going to go like this, so I'm not even reading anything that's there. So first of all, Queen of Spring is Queen of Wands. Now, a good thing to know is to know the element of the suit in the tarot deck so that you can understand the element of what the reading is about. So Wands, fire. And that means that it's something about passion, moving forward, goal setting, having confidence. The Queen is very much royalty, right? It's in the court cards. It's a royal suit. Queen of Cards is about expansion, okay? Because what does fire do? Fire expands. So when I look at the Queen of Wands for a general reading for somebody, I am hearing this person needs to expand their horizons. This person needs to believe that they are royalty in that like they can extend to the highest of heights, that they don't necessarily need to shrink back and play it small. I would say to this person, play it big. Play it big. You've been playing it too small. You need to really spread your wings and fly. You need to go out there. You need to go out there in the world. Take some risks. Take some chances. And when you do that, the payoff will be enormous. So let's see, what else do I see here? This happens to be from the Fairy Tarot, and she has wings. Remember, I just said spread your wings and fly. She has the color red, and that's another thing. So anything that jumps out to you in the cards as far as colors, shapes, imagery, icons are going to give you different flavors to the reading. So the fact that this queen is wearing a red dress, I would say to my client, if that popped out at me, I would say, follow your passion. Follow your passion. You need to absolutely follow your passions here. Not only spread your wings and fly, but also follow your passions. Don't play it small. Know that you have this queen energy, that you can reach higher heights than you ever thought you could attain. So this is how you would read it based on the title of the card plus the imagery in the card, based on the topic and theme of it all. Now let's switch this over and say, if the Queen of Spring, if we had picked this card and it was in love, not in general, not in career, not in romance, right? So the Queen of Wands, Queen of Spring, is also about self-confidence. And so I would say to the person, go out there and date a lot of different people to find your Prince Charming or whatever, to find your prince or find your king. You're a queen, got to find your king. But I would say just go out there and date and be bold, be daring, go on a lot of dates, be courageous, have confidence in yourself. And through this self-confidence, being bold, daring, and brave, you're actually going to find your person. And so do you understand how I turned that around into a love reading just based on the energy of one card? And just know this, I just want you to know this for certain, is that every single time you pick the same tarot card for different readings, it will have a slightly different meaning for every person and every reading. And I believe that's why tarot has lasted for so many hundreds of years, is that it's a dynamically growing art. And that through the power of intuition, through the power of you getting confident in your own reading abilities, you'll be able to like morph and change it. And like the 10 of Wands is not going to mean the 10 of Wands in one reading as it is meant for another reading. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who want to learn all about reading tarot. And thank you so much for supporting this YouTube channel. You can buy one of my books on Amazon. There are affiliate links below. And I will see you in the next video.